All righty, recording. So thank you guys for getting on to our kickoff call for our Spring Fit group. We just want to welcome you. Thank you for taking the time to get on the call. My name's Rania Sheets. I am one of the coaches on this team. And you'll see I've been coaching for 3 years now. Done a lot of programs and doing Body Beast right now. And I have 2 kids and we're really busy, so we hopefully can help you figure out how to be busy and still, make this work for you as well. Robin, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Robin Bonswar. I have been a coach in August, it'll be 7 years. And so I've got 2 boys. We live in Orange County. I also work, I guess it'd be the equivalent of full-time with my coaching business, and I do meeting and event planning consulting and taxi driver, sports mom, cheerleader, all of that. So, but yeah, just like Rania said, various times, for me, 7 years ago, I found that doing in-home fitness and staying accountable in groups like this that you guys are in actually got me going again, because I could never make it to the gym anymore. So, and we've been doing it a while, so we have a few tips and tricks, and hopefully we can answer all your questions. Wendy's been in one of these groups, but I don't think we've ever done a kickoff like this with her. So Wendy, are you going to do 21 Day Fix as well? Or what are you doing for your fitness?
Sorry, trying to get off mute. I'm actually logging in right now to look into that. But my fitness right now, I am actually just trying to motivate myself to get out and walk every day, and hoping to start running instead of walking every day. So that's my goal. But I'm
Wendy's been
right now
drinking Shakeology for a while. Yeah, so we can check out Beachbody on demand for you as well, just to get you some stuff that that you can do with the boys at the house. She's got 2 boys as well. So
cool.
Yeah. All right, Rania, go ahead.
All right. So a little bit about our groups. Our groups are what you make of them, really. When we first started, or when Beachbody first started, the thought of having an accountability group was because a lot of people would buy the programs and do it for a little while and then stop, and then they wouldn't really have anybody hold them accountable. So that's how kind of the beginning of accountability groups began. So we use these groups to help encourage you guys to check in and to share tips, share recipes, share when you're struggling, share when things are going great and you're having success. It really is what you make of it. So if you buy in, it works. If you are like, I don't know, and you don't post and you don't share, then it's not going to be as helpful for you. I know when I first started, I literally think I may have been the only person that posted in that group every single day. Like it was like a group of 1. But I knew if I posted every day and I knew somebody was watching it, then it was getting done. It was like a check on my to-do list. We really encourage you to check in every day when you do your workout. Check in every day after you've had your shake. We try and share tips. We try and share some recipes. Maybe we have something we've made that night. We'll share that recipe. Ask questions. Just know that you are not like the only person in there. You're not the only person that's maybe just getting started. Everybody, there are going to be some people that are maybe in their second round of maybe they were in the last group and then now they're going to do this one for one more session of more intense accountability. But just know that you're not there's no judgment. Everybody is there for the same purpose. Us coaches have maybe been doing it a lot longer than you. So yeah, maybe we are a little more experienced, have lost some of the weight, and some haven't. So we're all on the same journey. We just all have different goals. So don't be intimidated. Just get in and believe in it, because it really does help.
Yes, exactly. And I'll just ditto what Rania said, that it really is, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So I really encourage you to check in every day, post what your workout is, and maybe you don't have the recipes yet, but Rania and I do. Like, we're already like, what are you making this week? You know, so we'll be posting stuff like that in the group, and yeah, just get the most out of it you can, because that's what it's there for. So Nikki's doing 21 Day Fix. Maybe Wendy will check that out too. But for the last, I would say 2 years, all of the fitness programs that have come out from Beachbody, so Core de Force, Country Heat, 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme, just the most recent ones, all have started using the container nutrition system. The colored containers that signify the different food group areas. And because and I truly believe, for me 2 years ago, that was kind of the game changer when I got my best results, was when I followed the container system. And now it's just a lifestyle. Now I just live my life with the tricks that I've learned from using the containers. And it's a portion control and proportion. So, you know, if you have ever followed like a calorie count, you know that you can eat, 1,200 calories of carbs and never feel full. Or you can mix in the proportions of proteins, carbs, healthy fats, seeds and nuts, etc. So that's kind of the philosophy behind the containers. Nikki, have you received your stuff yet?
Yes, I have. And I can already tell you, like, that's my problem, is portion control, because I look at those containers and I think, yes, I probably have too much pasta when I serve myself. And so for sure.
Right. But I also need to say about that, like, when I got the containers the first time, I was like, they left half of these containers back in the warehouse. Where's my other containers? Because I was like, this is not enough. But once you read the book, and what you'll do is you find in your book how you calculate your target. It is a calorie range that it talks about, but the amount of food that you actually get. So like in the 1,200 to 1,499 calorie target range, it's like you get 3 greens and 4 and greens are veggies, and you get 4 reds, and those are your proteins. And that's where your Shakeology will fit in, is a protein, is one of your red containers. 2 carbs, I think. Anyway, I don't have it all completely memorized, but so you'll find that actually if you are making something, once you put it all on your plate, it actually is a decent amount of food. But again, it's proportions. So you can't have a whole plate of pasta with, like 2 little florets of broccoli and, and some chicken, because that is too much carb. You have to find the balance and the proportions that are right for your calorie target. And so that's where you look in that book. And I will tell you, if it's your first time doing the 21 Day Fix nutrition plan with the containers, I highly recommend you use them every day for the 21 days.
Okay.
I don't think that after that, you learn what the portion sizes are that are right. You don't have to carry these containers around with you for the rest of your life. It's a lifestyle. I actually do use them for the yellow, because I will tend to overdo it on the yellow container. But you can also, take a month off and eyeball it and see how everything goes. And then sometimes I'll need to check myself, like, am I going too overboard on whatever container it is, too much avocado or whatever. Now it's just kind of a gut check again, when I'm kind of not, maybe I haven't followed it so closely because it was spring break or because Christmas vacation or whatever, then you just kind of rein yourself back in, use them again for a week or so. But it's not, I want you to know you don't have to carry those funky containers around for the rest of your life, because this is a lifestyle that is meant to be sustainable. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. So there's my little container explanation.
Yeah, and a few things off of that. First of all, you'll also learn to adjust like your meals. So like if you are a big pasta, maybe you start introducing recipes like spaghetti squash instead, or zucchini noodles, which we share a lot of different, alternatives like that. So that kind of helps you to adjust in terms of, adjusting to the lifestyle and using your yellows more thoughtfully on things that you really want to enjoy.
Right. Rania and I both talk about how we hoard our yellow containers for, tortillas or wine or chocolate. Yeah. So
it's the wine that's going to be the killer.
Yeah, I literally save mine quite often for my wine. So, I'll be honest, I can give up everything, pasta or any of it, but the wine is hard to give up. So, you can do that though. That's part of the lifestyle change. It's part of having balance and knowing that, hey, I will eat more of something else the rest of the day and save it for my glass of wine with dinner or whatever. And
I would say, based on your goals and how aggressive you want to be towards your goals, like the 2 years, when I mentioned 2 years ago, when I did the 21 Day Fix Extreme, and I didn't have wine for 21 days. And that's like, well, geez, that should be easy. Well, it wasn't, because, I enjoy a glass of wine, but, I was on a mission to get a result that I wanted. And then, so depending on your goals and how aggressive you want to be, taking alcohol out is going to get you a result quicker than keeping it in, kind of thing. So once maybe you get to a result that you want, and then you introduce it back in, or maybe you make a decision like, I'm not going to give up the wine completely for the 21 days, and that's your choice. So just know that you need to make those decisions for yourself based on how aggressive you want to be with your goals. And go into it knowing that, like, yes, this plan does allow for wine, but a quicker result is going to be to keep the wine out. Right. Totally a personal choice and totally up to you. And there's no judgment whatsoever. And,
and,
that's just the way it goes.
A lot of times, like, maybe somebody will go through the first round and, be strict and follow. And then as it, you're not going to want to live forever like that, but you do the first round, you see your immediate results, you get your body kicked back into, going. And then from there, then you'll be able to introduce things back in or have a treat night, or, no one wants you to not have a date night with your husband anymore, or not go out with friends anymore. That will never
just plan for it.
Yeah.
Right. You just kind of plan for it. Like, make it your life.
Right. And one other suggestion that we both use a lot is there's an app called mine is 21 Day Fix. I believe Robin has a different one. It's free. The 21 Day Fix app is a free Beachbody app. And I use it every day to keep, when I'm on the plan and keeping track, you can literally go in there and you check off every meal, what you've had, and it helps you keep track of your containers throughout the day. So if you're a person that needs to check things off and can't keep a piece of paper around or doesn't want that, you could use the app, and it's really easy. And sometimes I'll even check off, for example, like what I'm going to have for dinner ahead of time. So I know that those are already saved. And then I can work through the rest of the day. So the app is really helpful if you need something like that to help you keep track of things.
Yes.
So on to meal planning and prep. So one of the things, especially just getting started, is going to be for you to take some time to plan your meals and prep. It's hard at first. It takes a little more time, but it definitely helps you to be more successful. If it means for me, I plan my dinners on Sunday nights. I figure out what I already have in the freezer. What kind of meats do I have? What does our schedule look like that week? And I plan my meals for dinners, at least accordingly. And then, I've gotten a little bit better about knowing ahead of time where, if I need to cut up some veggies ahead of time, I'll cut them. Sometimes when I'm like cooking dinner, for example, like tomorrow, if I'm going to make a stir fry and I'm cutting up peppers, well, I'll cut up some extra peppers and throw them in a baggie in the fridge. So I have something to grab when I'm starving and don't have time and would have probably grabbed something like pretzels or something else instead of chips, whatever. So doing things like that, maybe hard boiling a bunch of eggs on Sunday so you have those ready to grab. Or, you don't have to go as far as prepping every meal. And I know you've probably seen those pictures of people that have like all their containers in their fridge lined up for the whole week. If that works for you, great. But you don't necessarily have to do that. But just knowing ahead of time and doing what you can to like prepare yourself and make it easier for you so you don't grab something you're not supposed to have, or you don't go to fast food because there's nothing ready for dinner, or, things like that. So just know that the more you prep and the more you plan helps you a lot, starting out especially. Robin,
Yeah, and
add to that?
the only thing I would add is I just make extras. Like I make extra, depending on family size, I
Yes.
freeze, I make extra, and I freeze stuff. And again, I do always have hard-boiled eggs. I always have cut up veggies. I make extra meatballs and freeze them, and just makes life so much easier if you have a plan and you're not grabbing pretzels or wheat thins or whatever when you should be grabbing some veggies.
Yeah, and I mean, even if it's as simple as if you're not going to double the recipe, but like I'll make enough that I know I have some for lunch the next day. Like,
Right.
If you're not a person that likes to eat the same things all week, then just make a little extra so you have enough for one extra meal. It says Elizabeth raised her hand. Elizabeth, you have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yes.
What are the what kind of containers do you guys use? Like if you have to bring lunch or breakfast into work, what are your meal prep containers?
It depends. For me, sometimes I'll use the actual Beachbody containers. Like I'll fill up the red one with Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. If I'm actually taking like a full lunch, I use, the dollar store has them. I've seen them there, but they're like almost like the rectangular square Chinese takeout ones, the ones with the black bottom and the clear top.
Okay.
Yep.
Because they usually fit the right amount of veggie and protein together in one. There are a lot of those that are already like, the bento box kind of style where there's different holes for each. I've seen those as well. And a lot of people like that. But if I'm going to warm that item up, I like to keep that separate than the stuff that I'm going to eat cold.
Okay. Thank you.
Or use whatever you have.
Yeah, I mean, don't feel like you have to go buy
Right. Like you should see my Tupperware. I've got Tupperware from 10 years ago and I have Tupperware that's more recent.
Oh, totally.
Just use what works for you. Yeah. Don't feel like you have to go get a container to bring stuff.
No, anything. And when we go back to the containers, we also, make sure that you guys know that you can like stuff these things. Like if you have spinach, push it down in there so you can get a good amount of stuff in there. Like chicken, stuff it in. Like use all the corners. It's like a puzzle. Like make sure you use as much space as possible. Because that's what it's measured for, first of all. And second of all, about the containers too, I just forgot what I was going to say. Oh, if you're going to do like a salad, for example, you can use like half and half, or you can half a fruit and use a half a fruit in your Shakeology and then a half a fruit later in the day. So you don't have to use a full container. You can half them, use a quarter, and then save the rest for different meals. So like you could do one spinach and then a half tomatoes and a half cucumbers or something like that.
Yep.
you can definitely work around and change things up a little bit too.
Yeah. Okay, so really quick about eating out and if you're traveling. So first of all, if you're traveling, if you're going on vacation, like just enjoy yourself. Like don't really be worried about it. Just hopefully over this 21 days, you're not going on vacation. And then after this, you'll have learned what your portion sizes are. But still, like, you know, if you're going on your honeymoon or your anniversary vacation with your husband, don't just enjoy yourself. And then know that you have this plan when you come back and you know how to get yourself back on track. Eating out. So a few tips on eating out. Most sit-down, nicer restaurants can make you a piece of grilled chicken and steam some veggies or give you a salad so that you stay on your plan. Things that you want to avoid, and some people are like, you can't? Yes, tell them you want a piece of grilled chicken with olive oil, salt, and pepper only. You don't want a sauce, you don't want a marinade, you don't want anything. If they can't do steamed veggies, you know, fresh veggies, they probably have a garden salad. And you don't, usually a garden salad has an iceberg lettuce, which really isn't on the plan. Try to order a Caesar salad because that most likely has romaine, or a spinach salad. Those would be better choices. Always order your dressing on the side. And another thing, trouble spot is dressings at restaurants. They're usually very high in sugar. Makes them taste better, right? So what I do is I order oil and vinegar. I have almost started using balsamic vinegar at home as my dressing for everything.
Yeah.
It gives it some moisture, it gives it flavor, it's tangy, and you don't have to have a dressing. I recommend doing homemade dressings. The 21-day fix plan has dressing recipes in there. We can probably find some others for you guys as well. Other things to avoid when you're eating out would be anything in the name of the item that's like fried or crispy or crunchy or I think my husband's making fun of me right now. So I'm talking with my hands and you guys can't see me. So things you would want to look for would be grilled or baked or broiled. And you can always specify things like light oil or oil, salt and pepper only, no sauce. Like I would always stay away from sauce. It's going to be a little bit plain, but salt and pepper can, once you get used to not having everything be so saucy, salt and pepper is a really great way to season.
And hot
when you're
sauce
at home,
too. If you like hot sauce, I add hot sauce to a lot of stuff. It helps.
yes. One of the other things that Rania and I both like is like mixing Greek yogurt with salsa or hot sauce and dipping like bell peppers in it. It's almost like chips and dip. It's like, it's not exactly the same, but you're making lifestyle changes. So you'll get used to liking these different things. Anything I forget about eating out, Rania?
I don't think so. I think that's, you covered.
Okay.
All
right.
Last but not least, and then we'll have some time for questions for you guys, is Shakeology. So if you have not had Shakeology yet, we recommend that you blend it up depending on your flavor. There's so many different options and recipes to try. I love the chocolate, and I blend it up with depending on what my day is like. I usually use some kind of fruit, half a banana, peanut butter, ice, and I use water, again, just to save my yellows, but if you want it creamy, you could add some unsweetened almond milk to it. There's tons of different recipes depending on which kind you have. It really just depends on you, and if you need help, need some suggestions, need some ideas, just ask in the group, because we will help you come up with something to make it tastier or less thick or thicker, or however you need help with that. If you people ask when they should drink it, and that's kind of what depends on you. For me, I typically drink it for breakfast because it's busy in the morning and I know I probably won't eat if I don't have that. So I work out usually beforehand just because that's how my schedule works. And I will have it in the morning. Some people prefer it for an afternoon snack. Some prefer to kill that 3 o'clock craving, which I've done before as well. Some people prefer it for dessert to get rid of those dessert cravings. So it's totally up to you when you have it. It counts, 1 scoop of Shakeology counts towards 1 red. So it's going to be 1 of your proteins a day. And then anything you add into it will also count. So if you add fruit, you can do half a fruit or whole fruit, or anything else you add in there is going to count towards your container system as well. So take that into consideration. But it is going to take a little time for you to notice some changes. Some people expect like 2 days of drinking it and you're supposed to feel different. It usually takes about a week or so to really notice your energy level increasing and your cravings going away. Cravings will depend on you. You're going to also be changing everything else with exercise and stuff. So you will notice increase in energy and all of that anyways. But it is, keep with it, drink lots of water with it, because it is going to affect your digestive system in a positive way, but you need to make sure you're drinking a lot of water. There's a lot of good stuff in there and nutrients, so it needs water to help keep you moving. Let's see, anything else? If you're traveling, you can take like a little, I'm going to go buy one this week because I'm traveling next week, but you can take like a mini travel blender with you and just take all your stuff with you. Or you can even, sometimes the hotel bar will blend it up for you, whatever.
Yeah.
But, the little travel blenders, I think are like $20 at Target. So, you can get one of those and just, it blends up. You take it with you. You don't miss. Even when you're maybe not eating as well on vacation, you at least get your nutrients and everything with your shake.
This is Wendy. Sorry, I somehow dropped off of the Zoom, but this is Wendy. I did a lot of traveling in like August and September, and I really did not want to have to give up my Shakeology for the morning. That's my breakfast. So I'm the same way as you, Rania. That's my breakfast in the morning, and I went to the Target. I was in Scottsdale, only Arizona, so it wasn't like I was in some, podunk town where you can't get to a Target, but I ended up buying myself a little magic bullet blender, and I left it at the office because I was traveling to the same office for like for about 2 months, but off and on. And then when I stopped traveling, I brought it home with me, but it was really great because I could still stay on track. I could start my day on track and how I wanted to start it and not have to give that up just because I wasn't at home.
Yeah, it does.
Perfect.
And if worse comes to worse and you just have to shake it up with some water, know that it may not taste as delicious, but you are getting in everything your body needs and more by drinking it that way. So just know that does help, and no matter, keep in the habit with it, and you will notice a big change by drinking it.
Do you recommend doing the Shakeology like every day?
Yes.
1 a day?
Yes.
Okay.
1 a day. If every once in a while, some people do twice a day, just know that it's so loaded with nutrients. If you're doing it more than once a day, your body will probably expel a lot of the vitamins. So it can be, it's kind of a waste in terms of long term if you're doing it more than once a day. But I do occasionally do like a half a one, or lately Robin taught me about, I'll use a half a scoop with a lot of ice and just a tad of water, and it's kind of like an ice cream. So that's kind of ends up being a dessert in the evening. But once a day is enough. But yeah, I've drank it, I think every day, probably almost every day for the last 3 years. So
is
Yep.
is one packet like a scoop?
Yes, 1
Yeah.
pound is equal to a scoop.
Okay.
Yeah. So now it's on you guys. Do you guys have any questions, concerns? We have about 5-6 minutes left, so we're happy to answer anything that maybe we didn't cover in so far.
For the workouts for like the 21-day fix, are they pretty much like scheduled work? Do they tell you which ones to do each day, or do you just pick and choose?
It should tell you in your book that it comes with every day. They go in order. So like, it should go in order on your list of what to do each day. But yeah, in the book, it should tell you, and there should be a calendar you can follow.
Okay. I don't think I opened that up yet. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, in the book, it should tell you, or if you have on demand, you go to program materials and it should give you information there if you need a calendar, or just ask.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. The other ones, 21-day fix is pretty easy to follow because it's 7 days and 7 workouts. And well, there's an eighth.
Thank you.
There's an eighth, so that one's a little bit easier to follow. But when you have one that's, maybe has more workouts, there is a calendar, and you can always get those calendars on demand, or they come with your package. Do you guys have any other questions?
I'm pulling into my neighborhood where I usually drop calls right now. So if I get dropped, I'm sorry, you guys.
It's okay. Do you guys have any other questions about meal planning or prepping or the containers or how to figure out how your own target or anything like that?
If you don't think of them right now, just put it out there, post it in the group. That's what we're there for. That's what the group's for, in addition to cheering each other on.
And just share.
What?
Share, non-scale. We talk a lot about non-scale victories. Like, it's not just about weight loss. We want you to be excited when your pants feel a little looser. Take measurements, because the measurements are going to be a really much better judge of your weight loss than those scales. We actually don't really encourage you to get on the scale for at least the first couple weeks, because some people, you may not lose your weight on the scale right away, but you will lose so many other victories that sometimes can be just not a good thing for people. So, make sure you take your measurements, take your pictures. You don't have to share your pictures, but take them for your own, use. And then that way, if you want to enter into the Beachbody Challenge, get the free shirt, you can do that. But get that done if you haven't done it yet. Is everybody starting tomorrow?
Yes, I am.
All right. So definitely use the group. Don't just make sure you check in and be proud, and there's no judgment, and we're just excited to do it with you guys. So ask questions, and that's it.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks for taking the time tonight.
Yeah, thanks,
Thanks, ladies,
Thank
for
you.
taking your time to do this.
Yeah, of course. We're here, and we're
All
happy
right.
to help you through. So let us know if you need anything at all.
All right. We'll see you there tomorrow.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Bye.
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 Bye.